Hey guys, it's Dr. Nate here, and this is video number 3 in our series of how to become the best orthodontic assistant possible. So by now you know the different vocabulary of orthodontics, like the different sizes of braces, what an overjet is, what an overbite is, what an underbite is, all these different things. You know how to take amazing pictures. And so this is the next step. How do we put those pictures into the computer? So this is a little bit more technical. I'm going to be mainly on the computer. I'm just going to show you how to do everything, and we do it the exact same at every office just so we have a great system. So let's go check it out. Alright guys, so we're going to figure out how to put these pictures in the right spot and make sure that they know, or we know exactly where everything goes. Okay, so we're going to open up one of the folders here, and we are going to look on the USB drive, which is actually our SD drive. That's where the camera has all of the pictures. So we're going to open up. We got all the pictures here. We got lots of pictures, some staff, some patients, and yeah, let's try to do this last patient here. So this is how they should all look. They should have the patient name in the picture and then the patient pictures after that. So you should have the patient name definitely first and then the rest of the pictures, right? Because that is super important. So this patient's name is Kiana, and we're going to make a folder on the desktop. So that's on the actual computer you're working on. You're going to make a folder that has her name, and it's really important that you follow these steps exactly, and there's a method to this madness. So we go and we import them all into that folder. So right now they'll actually be duplicated. They're still in the SD card and they are now on the desktop. And so sometimes what I'll do is I will just verify that, yep, they've all been transferred over. For sure the pictures are there. And then I will now go delete the ones that are on the SD card because we do not need those anymore. And we do this very specifically, and we'll get into that. And the reason is actually, basically the reason is because now we know that those pictures are no longer there. They're being taken care of. And if we go back and forth or we're at a different office, we know, hey, if the pictures aren't there, obviously they've been done. But if there's a folder on the desktop, we need to make sure that the pictures are completed. So now we open up here and boom, we got all the pictures, but they're not completed. So we need to edit them first to make it look all pretty. There's too much of this face showing. So just push that little kind of edit button up top. I think most of you have already done this. If you're new to this, I'm sure you've done something very similar. So you basically tap that button, and now let's start adjusting. So we're just going to kind of trim away some of the edges here. You can see that spot on the right side. That allows you to straighten those teeth a little bit, and you want to save it. You don't want to save a copy. You just want to save it as normal, because if you save a copy, that means you're going to duplicate it. You're going to save this one that you just edited, plus you're going to save a new one. So maybe if you're totally new and you don't know exactly what's going on, cool, save a copy. But the majority of us should just be saving as is, because we don't want to duplicate everything, because everything is going to be duplicated and it's going to get all weird. So yep, we're just going to go and we're going to edit all of these, doing the same thing on every single picture, just kind of trimming out the stuff we don't want. And there's always templates for you as to look at to see what we're looking for. Obviously this would be a good template because I'm going to do it. And we're just straightening up some of the images. This is a good one because we want the molars on these ones to look the same, so they're slightly rotated. So I can straighten until I think it's as good as I can. And I'm just going to you're just going to do the best job you can. You know, on this one, we might still show some of the maxillary teeth. Obviously, we don't want to show that, but we're going to show some of them, it looks like. And that is just life. That's how it goes sometimes. Maybe she couldn't open up that big, and that's how it's going to look. Same thing with this one. We're going to edit this. Obviously, we have way too much stuff, so we're going to edit it, make it look straight, take away out all this stuff we don't want, and this one will probably be able to get it. Oh yeah, sometimes this happens where we mess with the picture and then it just goes all sorts of crazy, just weird computer glitch. So you can just do undo all and just kind of start over on this particular picture. So this one's good. We actually are able to take away the unwanted teeth that we don't want. We're getting a nice good look in this, and boom, that's looking pretty good. Now we're going to adjust some of the facial pictures. So I'm looking at the eyes in this one. I want the eyes to be similar. So I had to adjust it just a little bit. Yeah, it's going to look like her shoulders a little bit off, but that's fine. We'd rather the eyes be correct. And then when we're trimming, we're just trying to get a little bit below the shoulders, maybe like 6 inches or so. and just maybe a couple inches above the head. So this would be pretty good. And then we're going to try to make all 3 images the same. So this is actually an example here though of one that was okay, but she's slightly tilted away from the camera. So remember, when you're taking pictures, you want them to look directly at your face. You want them to look directly at you while you're taking the picture. And this is okay, this is good, but she's ever so slightly looking away. But yep, we're trimming it up, kind of same thing as we did to the last one. We're trying to trim these all the same as best we can. You'll see why in a second, because it just makes our lives a little bit easier here when we start putting it all in the template. So trimming it, everything again, we're saving it. We're not saving a copy, we're just saving it normally. And boom, there you go. We've edited all these pictures. So everything is looking good. And now we're gonna open up Photoscape. And Photoscape is just the imaging tool that we use to put all of our images together in an actual template. So let me show that again here. So we're gonna open up Photoscape, and you're actually gonna click on Pages or Page, and that's the one that should be preloaded with the ortho template. And then the next part is super easy. We're just kind of back it up so we can see the whole thing. And then now, honestly, all we do is drag and drop. So we're gonna grab each one, gonna put in the correct location. Remember, every time it's gonna be the exact same location, so each template is gonna look the same. So you can go lefts and rights and ups and downs and all the facial pictures, and everything is starting to come together really good. And we want to look at all these pictures, make sure they're straight, make sure they're in the right spot. So now you can see that these 3 pictures here are okay, but it looks like maybe that one on the right is slightly smaller than the 2 left ones. So we can just make it a little bit bigger. So make it ever so slightly bigger, maybe put in the middle, maybe make this one in the middle a little bit more, move this over a little bit. These are all looking pretty darn similar. If I were to do it over again, I may have lightened up her face a little bit just because it's a little dark. Just kind of moving these around, making sure they're in the middle of the screen that they should be. And this is looking pretty darn good. So last thing I need to do is fill the center template. And so each office should have this already done. I believe I've done this at all the offices. You're going to go to the Google Drive, and the way I do it is I just search template, and that should come up. I got middle template right there, so it's already done. It has a previous patient's name. So now what we need to do is we need to change the name. Obviously, that's not the same patient. And then we need to figure out when we took off the braces, because this is a debonding picture. Obviously, it'd be the opposite if we were bonding. We need to see when we were bonding the patient, but this one we're taking it off. So let me see. Let me open up Open Dental and kind of figure out where, when we did this, and I think it was on the 24th. I don't want to open up because that's show the whole schedule, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the 24th. So let's put 624 on there, and that's it. We have that middle template done. So now we need to download it. So we're going to download it as a JPEG, and that's just like your normal run-of-the-mill picture is a JPEG. So I like to see. Okay, I can push this button. If you push, this is the recording button, so it's kind of hard to see. But right behind that, there, I can show in folder. So when I do that, I can see it right there, and I just same thing, drag it in there. And now maybe I want to modify a little bit, maybe move it up and down, maybe make it slightly bigger. Sometimes grabbing the edges of these pictures is a little hard to do, so let's see if we can grab it here. And boom, we kind of got it right in the middle. This is looking good. So now we have our template done. That was easy. That was like, I don't know, 6 minutes, 7 minutes or something. So now we're going to save him. We're going to save him in the correct spot. You can rename it if you want to. I don't really ever rename them. We want the highest quality. Yes. So now we're done with this. It's saved. We can exit out of this as well. And now if we open up her so this is actually, now we're going to save in a different location. So this is on hopefully some of the computers is going to show this. This says patient images, and this is actually the server. So it actually just is a shortcut to this area. So I don't want to get too in depth with this, but If you really want to check it out, you'd go back to that server, and then you'd go to Open Dental Images, and you'd kind of try to find it. There's patient images right there. But I basically never want you to do that because we don't want to be messing with the server. So just click that button, and you'll be basically shortcutted to this area, and that's where we want to save it. So we're going to save it on there. So boom, it's saved. So now we already have it saved into 2 locations. This is good. It's on the server, so we know that is good. We can exit out of there, and then the next spot we want to save it is we want to save it actually on her chart. So we want to open up Open Dental, and we want to go to her chart. Yes, Luke. Open it up. And then we're trying to open up Dexis here. Of course, you can just go to Dexis directly and open it that way, but I just always go through Open Dental because it's what I've always done. We're going to open up a chart, and then we need to do the kind of like the square function or the quadrant function. I don't know what it's called, but we're going to open it up. That's her initial picture, and now we need to put in the final picture. So the good thing with Dexis on most of the offices is that you can just drag and drop, just like we're doing with everything. So everything's just drag and drop. Grab it in there, drag it, and it takes a minute, and boom, it is up. So now we have her picture there. That is golden, looks great, everything looks amazing, and she's done for that area. If it doesn't naturally drag and drop, you can either click this other button here that says import, and you can import the pictures that way, which I think you need to do that maybe at 1 or 2 offices, but majority should be just the easy drag and drop. But if you can't, you know how to import it now as well. So we can exit out of Dexis. And now what we need to do is we need to save it into the 3rd spot. So I'm just going to kind of open up any folder. I'm going to go back to the SD card. Remember, the SD card is where it is located in the actual camera. So this is the camera folder right now. It's called USB, but it's really the SD drive. And now we're just going to go back to where we originally took the pictures. Of course, we deleted them now, so they're not there. But we're going to drag and drop this whole folder back into the SD card. So that is the 3 locations it should be saved. You have it saved on the SD card, which is basically the camera. You have it saved on the server. And now we have it saved on Dexis. We have it saved in 3 spots. So I deleted the one that's actually on the computer now because we do not want that. You guys know that I like my stuff to be very organized. And this computer already has too many pictures, and I've already talked to the girls. It should look spotless. There shouldn't be any other excess pictures on here, which there is, and that's the reason why it sometimes gets disorganized. But that's why we do it this way, because now we know, hey, cool, she has a folder on the SD card, so we know, hey, she must be done. All these other pictures, well, the ones that have patients, we know they are not done because they don't have folders in there and their pictures are still there. So that's how we know if a picture has been done or if it hasn't been done. So in an ideal world, there would basically be very few free pictures like this. There'd just be a bunch of folders with patients' names because that means everything's done. Alright guys, so that's how you do it. That's how you put the pictures in the computer. Remember, there's 3 spots we put them. We put them in Dexis, we put them in the server, and then we put it back on the SD card, which is basically just the camera. One last thing I want to show you. I want to show you how you put a picture of the patient's face into their folder on Open Dental so that when we go and we scroll over their appointment, their face pops up. So I want to show you this one last thing. Okay, so last thing, like we said, we're going to put them on the actually Open Dental. So all you do is go to your images, you go to patient pictures, import, let's get her smiling face, and we import it that way, say okay. Now when we go back to her chart, boom, her image pops up, and we want this for all the patients, especially when we first put the braces on. Alright guys and gals, that is it. That is easy peasy. Remember, we like to keep things timed, so I don't know, I think that took me maybe 8 or 9 minutes or 10 minutes, but that was with a lot of explanations in between. So you guys should be doing this definitely in under 10 minutes. Alright guys, there you go. Now you know how to put the pictures into the computer. You know how to take amazing pictures. You know the different vocabulary of braces and what overbites, underbites, open bites, all these different things. You have a great foundation.
So now we need to put the braces on. So that is going to be the next video. That's going to be video number 4. So I will see you in the next video.